Gunline. We got a fire mission coming down, y'all. I'm your host, Lopez, and you're listening to the On the Gunline podcast, where we shoot the shit like we did out in the field. All topics are welcome. No motherfucking opinions are too hurtful or censored or filtered. You come as you are, baby, like Nirvana said. So today, we have a hell of a topic for y'all. Earlier today in the morning on my way to work, I was thinking about, how much money we end up wasting on females who end up getting knocked up in the military, active duty. And, then their job, if it's a critical job, ends up getting put to the side. Another person has to slide in for that. And she's still getting paid to just go hang out at the house. So, of course, that's just a very male point of view of you in it, I guess you could say. But I think I might have touched a nerve on here. I got my homegirl Rissa. I've known her for Jesus Christ probably over 10 years now, I'm sure. I think I was in
Yeah,
Mosul when I first started intermingling with the rest of the group we were in. But
yeah, the secret squirrel phenomenon group.
SSI, baby.
SSI.
So welcome Risa again, because you did one of my interviews way back when I first started this up on this
Yeah,
shit.
when you first started your sessions. Yep.
Yep. So thank
So
you
it's
for
been a
being
minute.
here.
Thank you for
And
having me.
for those that don't know, you were active duty in the
Yep.
army.
Active
What's up?
duty 20 years. I retired here at Fort Carson. Um, my MOS was 15 Papa, which was 93P when I first came in, but basically short and sweet, aviation operations, flight dispatcher, S3 in garrison, talk monkey, junkie, whatever, during deployment. But I mean, it was a pretty badass job. We got, supplies to the front lines. We got medical care through medevacs for the guys in the front. We moved equipment, soldiers, Joes, whatever you name it in
Mhm.
theater. If it flew, it was on there. So, it was a pretty cool job. I enjoyed it for the time being that I was there. Um, I got to see some pretty cool places. Korea. I was stationed in GC when 9/11 happened. Um, then went to Germany. Well, not Germany, but I deployed to Iraq, Kuwait when the war first started. Then I moved to Germany for 10 years, deployed twice while I was out there, and got sent to Bragg, deployed to Afghanistan, and then decided to retire at Fort Carson. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Word. That is what's up. So, needless to say that during your time in active duty, you had children.
Yes, I did. So um, let me see. I came in, straight out of high school. I didn't have really no intentions to like, make it a career per se, but
Mhm.
it just grew on me after time.
Yeah.
So I think, let me see, I enlisted in 99. I didn't get married till '04. And then, well, my first marriage. And then
Typical
that happened.
army story. First marriage.
First marriage, typical army person, right?
Yes.
Military person. But yeah, so I got married in '04. Didn't ended up having my first daughter in '06.
Mhm.
So funny story how I found out I was pregnant with her was I was doing a 45-day field stunt in Hohenfels in the box.
Mhm.
So I mean, I was already there with my soldiers and stuff like that, doing all the training we would do, in the box. But I was literally more of a bitch than other days, and any little piece of shit just threw me off. So I was really like, I guess you would say emotionally stable and unstable in a way.
Mhm.
But I mean, like they're like, damn, she really means business. But so I didn't know I was knocked up that whole time frame until I got back from the field.
Mhm.
So when I got back, everyone when they come back from the field, we drink good, eat good. And
Mhm.
apparently that didn't sit well with me till, I was like, what the fuck? So I went I went to sick call the next morning, that following morning after our 4 day. And lo and behold, they're like, hey, you tested positive for pregnancy. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, that explains why I was a bitch. I was always crying. After shift, I'd be like, why am I so emotional? I'd be in the shower just freaking like, why don't these people listen? What the fuck, man?
Right.
It's just like, you're fucking in the military. What's so hard about doing point A to point B?
Right.
I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So, that, just like I was floored because in 2005, I was told I was never going to have kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was told because I had it's a common thing with some females, polycystic ovarian syndrome, or known as
PCOS.
PCOS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, PCOS, piece of shit, pretty much. But they told me like, yeah, you'll never have kids because you have PCOS, and
Mm-hmm.
you'll end up being like infertile the whole fucking time. And I'm like, okay, cool. I really didn't want to have kids because the military was like going on to being as my life,
Right.
besides being a wife. But the military was my baby.
Right. Right.
So when I found out I was pregnant, I was just like, holy shit, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
well, there goes that. So I had to break the news to, my platoon sergeant and then my company commander, all that other shit. But my leadership was understanding because in aviation, I guess it's different. They're a little bit more empathetic, I want to say. So it's not like we had a lot of females in our shop anyways. I think I
Right.
was one of three.
Oh,
So
wow.
they're like, and I was an NCO. So they're like, okay, well, you know what to do then as a pregnant mom. I was like, this is my fucking first pregnancy and in Europe. So I'm like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, just because I'm Mexican doesn't mean I know what to do.
You
There is no
naturally
manual.
you naturally know what to do. You Mexicans have litters, so you guys automatically know what to. You're born with the gift. No.
Right. And
Well,
so
mm-hmm.
what so my pregnancy was fine. I did the normal Joe stuff. I pulled duty. I drove in vehicles till I think about like 20, 23 weeks, so I'm not supposed to anymore. I was in the motor pool, PMCSing vehicles. I pulled semi light duty in the field because they still dragged me out there. So I was just like, whatever, I didn't care because I was just like, I'm a body, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was getting further along, they're like, okay, we're gonna rotate you out from the 3 shop and work in the flight line in the airfield. And that the airfield's like set hours, like from 05, I guess, or 04 till like the last flight of the day,
Mm-hmm.
working flight ops. So you just work along with the air traffic control tower. And the chief in charge, the warrant officer in charge of that little area, he was one of those egotistic white males. He was an Apache pilot. Um, fuck, I forgot his
Well,
name.
you got to
But
put
anyways,
white male into it,
white
and
male pilot. Yes,
god
pissed me the
damn.
fuck off, and I forgot his name. I could see his face. He was a CW4, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty chill, when it comes to just like talking about work and this and
Mm-hmm.
that. And he started a conversation with me, just like how you are about women getting pregnant in the military.
All right.
And I was like, he's like, this is my thought of it. He's like, so why should we allow you to get pregnant while in service? And I was like, what do you mean, chief? And he's like, think about it. You are useless to me for the next year and a half of your career. I'm like, okay. He's like, you are basically a dead man till you pop that kid out your twat. Literally, he said that. And, he's like, how long do you have for pregnancy recovery? And I was like, 6 weeks. And he's just like, okay. So he's like, you're basically useless to me till you pop that kid out. And then you have 6 weeks recovery. And then probably add an additional, whatever, how many days of leave, whatever you add on top of your postpartum leave. And he's like, you're useless to me for a year and a half. So why should I allow you to serve for that year or get paid for that year? Shouldn't why can't I extend your contract, to make it longer, to add
Mm-hmm.
on time, kind of like a jail sentence?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. I was like, so
I could work with that.
I'm a piece of shit because I'm pregnant. I'm like, he's like, if the army wanted to give you a family, they would have issued you one. And I'm just like, hold up. I was like, so you're telling me because you have a hot Russian wife, it's okay for you to get married and you to freaking procreate and, have other kids, but yet because I'm in the military, I'm a female, I can't have kids or make that choice. I'm like, I told him, I was like, I contribute to the unit. I don't sham out. I'm that little like 0.01% of females that actually work their ass off.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't sham through my pregnancy. So I was like, I gave him more than I should have. Pretty much. And that just like it pissed me the fuck off. I was just like, you know, I'm like, well, what about people that have their surgeries, when they have like, neck surgery or like cancer, all that shit. I was like, what about people on permanent profiles? What about those assholes? I'm like, I'm on a temp profile. Eventually I'll pop this kid out, get back into standard, and then deploy again while this shitbag's over there with nursing a fucking broken foot, saying I can't deploy because back in Nam I did this, this, and this,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, so it's like a double-edged sword, fuck me, right? Because I want to have a family. And, you know, the whole thing about like uh birth control, yeah, I was on it. Fuck, dude, my body does not absorb birth control. I have fucking 5 kids. They're living proof that my body does not take birth control. I need to shut
I'm
the
with you.
factory down.
So,
But that right there, I've had to deal with that through my whole career. Like, um, you chose to be a mom, so like, if
mhm.
um we have to make you work longer hours, then your spouse can pick up slack. So it's just like, okay, but what about the men that have kids too, but their wives work, but yet you allow those guys to pick up their kids and do stuff with their kids, but yet fuck me because I'm a female, I have to fucking do show my work twice as much as a male does because I'm a parent too. So it just, I don't know, it just
I
kind of
feel
pissed
you.
me off a
No,
bit.
I feel you. I get it. I get it. I can't sit there and say, I know where you're coming from because I don't. I'm not a
No.
woman. I've never had a child. I mean, I'm a father and I have
Yeah.
3 beautiful children. And you have it rough
You had
because
all the kids on active duty, right?
Mhm,
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
did.
okay. I
Yep.
wasn't sure about the little
Hey,
dude.
I'll
I
tell you
forgot.
something about all 3 of the kids. Um, they didn't stop me from deploying.
Yeah.
But
And then no. Go ahead. Go
my
ahead. Go.
turn.
No, no, go.
It's my turn. So, um, they didn't stop me from deploying. So while she was pregnant, I still went to the field. I still pulled my duties. I still did
Mm-hmm.
my primary skill set. And
Yep.
and when it came time to deploy, I deployed while she was pregnant, and even when she had her kid or her kid, even when she had the kid. I got lucky with Emily. I was able to come back. I was able to switch
Mm-hmm.
my mid-tour leave. And so I came back for the 14 days. Emily was born, and 12 days later, I was on my way back to Iraq. Then when I got back, she was 6 months old. Sophia, I was in Afghanistan. We were there at the same time, actually. Remember?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I wasn't able to go back. They wouldn't let us go back for that, so I missed her birth. And then
Mm-hmm.
there was Daniel, and Daniel was born as I was processing on my way out. So
Ouch.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I had the 3 kids, but they never hindered um
Performance or your duties.
they never hindered at one time my mission capability. I was
Mm-hmm.
never non-mission capable. So what I'm saying is, and I mean, I get it, your body, your choice. And it's
Yeah,
funny
I know.
because I've gotten a lot of well, not a lot, but I've gotten some reactions from people regarding
Mainly
what
women.
you
Not just
know
playing.
regard was that.
Mainly women, not just playing.
No, not
I don't
really.
know.
Actually, I get it. I seem like an asshole for what I'm saying, but it's just an opinion. It's just a
No,
simple
and,
opinion.
and you're not wrong because there are women in the military that abuse the FN system. I had a soldier at Fort Bragg. I shit you not. She was pregnant right after AIT.
Hmm.
She got pregnant and then she got to the unit, was pregnant,
Hmm.
popped the kid out. And then when the unit was on rotation to go to Afghanistan, oh look, I have a positive pregnancy test. I can't
Hmm.
go.
Of course.
They fucking let her
E-
stay back.
exactly. So
And
here's
it's just
my way to
like,
mitigate all that. While you're in the service, birth control. I think
yeah,
it's a
but
good way
see,
because whatever measures it takes. Now, everybody keeps coming back to me with like, oh, well, why don't they chop the man's nuts off? Because the man's not the one that
no,
gets pregnant.
it's not the chopping of the nuts off either. It has to be like, okay, no one plans to get pregnant. Some women do. Some women in the military like are all for their career and they're like, okay, I don't want to be a mom till I've reached this rank or at this point in my career, et cetera, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to tell a woman like, yeah, get on birth control and never be a parent in your whole military career.
Oh, okay, here's the
Okay.
thing though. Here's the thing about that. If you decide to be a parent while you're in the military, it's going to be very difficult. You can't, it's it's going to hinder your
It is
life.
difficult.
So
It
I would
is. It
say
is.
if you want to focus and be a mother, okay, hey, thank you for your service. Have a great time as a mother. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion because,
Yeah. I mean, you're entitled to it. I mean, but
and I know that
not
there's
all
many
women
women out
are
there.
like that.
I know there's
Yeah.
many women out there that serve in the country or serve the country that have been mothers and whatnot, and they're that, and that's great. That's awesome, cool. I'm just saying that when you're in the service, when you get pregnant, and you're in, let's say, a position that is, let's say, one of those positions that are mission critical, and
Okay,
you're
so
knocked up.
let's go back, for example, like a female pilot, because
Mhm,
I know several of them, you know. So for let me see, for a lot of women that are pilots, they hold off, you
mhm,
know, they choose not to be mothers,
mhm,
you know, for a long period of time till they meet their progression levels, till they attain a certain rank.
mhm,
And usually some of them are first time moms when they're company commanders and they've been
mhm.
in, you know, 10, 12 years and they already have like season time and stuff like that. So some of them do understand how it is to be a woman in the military that has, you know, kids and everything like that. So with some leaders, I do feel like they empathize, but they also get run over by the other lower enlisted females that just pop out kids left and right, you know,
Right.
and that's wrong. So like for like birth control, yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to like issue a female birth control or give her the option or whatever, because then you run into the whole like, yeah, my body, my choice. But then like some women's bodies react different to birth control, and if you're on it for a long period of time, who's to say that you won't get pregnant? You know,
Okay.
some it fucks with your system.
So
So you
again,
might be on birth control for like 5 years,
right.
and then you get on and say, hey, I want to be a mom now,
Okay.
right?
Right.
And then you try and try and try, and then you're like, well, fuck, dude, I've been on birth control for 5 years, been trying for 2 to be a mom, nothing's happening, you know. So it's like whatever. But I know what you're saying, you know, like, hey, you want to be a mom? Thank you for your service, you know,
Yeah.
cervix or whatever, you know, and step off.
I mean,
But
that's
you know,
just how I feel about it, And
but
so
you know,
somebody comes and says, but it's dudes that gets them pregnant. Maybe have the dudes give vasectomies while they are in, since the Army has to pay more taxpayer money for moving them off post with BAH and TRICARE benefits. Where's the line drawn? So I'll tell you where the line is drawn. Once again, if they want to be a mother, thank you for your service. Have a great time. That's it.
but what about the men? What if they want to be fathers? You know, like what about the men? Why
What do you
should
mean
it
when they
stop
want to be
there?
fathers? They
If
can
they
be
want to be
fathers.
fathers, because like, yeah, they can be fathers, but sometimes like, oh,
It's not
okay,
taking
like
them out of
say
the mission.
some guys do, because if they have like a special needs child, they're like, hey, I need to drive my kid to this appointment. Hey, I need to drive
What,
my
his wife
kid
can't
here
drive?
because my wife can do it. Exactly. There's been emphasis like, you know, I had a friend,
But
his daughter had like terminal cancer, and he
mhm,
was literally at his kid's appointment every fucking time. Like she would
gotcha.
be going to Denver for treatments like at
Okay.
least 4 times a
How
month.
how often is that happening versus women getting pregnant and coming out the fight?
I mean, it's like, you know, it
I'm
can
just saying,
happen at a
how
drop of a
often is
dime.
it happening? I mean, it's like
Not
the
not as
argument.
it's not common, but you know,
Okay,
I'm just saying there's
exactly.
like
It's
also like a
not
lot of kids.
common.
There's some kid. It's not common, but there are some kids that the military has. You know, a
I
lot of
get
special
that.
needs kids.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, I
I
know.
get that. I understand that.
But then also too, you know, like mental abuse. That like my wife can't drive; she doesn't feel comfortable driving. I need to be there for the appointment.
Right.
I need to be supportive. I need. So like,
Mhm.
okay, where do we draw the line at
Well,
that?
that's where
So
you
it's
tell
like,
the
okay, you
motherfucking
want to be a
soldier, okay,
father?
check this out, soldier. You're either going to be a fucking soldier and soldier the fuck up, or you can get a family care plan and bye.
Yeah, I mean,
I
like
mean,
it's not
no,
just
because honestly, it's just it. How much? Again, it all boils down to me to losing a person in the fight, and
yeah.
now having another person have to step up. and then all this money being spent on this other person. I'm not saying y'all shamming. I mean, you're out there creating a new life. That's a miracle
Yeah.
within itself. I have nothing against motherhood. I'm a father. I love being around my kids. I love it. But I know when it's time to deploy, it's time to go. And my wife being pregnant doesn't stop that. But if you're pregnant, it stops you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I know
that's
it does.
where my argument comes from.
So I mean, I know they like we know when we're gonna rotate, right? And I know it was common in the beginning of the war back in like I guess the early 2003s to like maybe late 07s, where women would just get knocked up to be avoided to go to a deployment. And yeah, that hurt the what's that the force or whatever, the troops on ground and stuff like that. But it hurt, because you had to like pluck from this person to go to that person because that person couldn't go, et cetera, et cetera. So like true story. So when we got to Bragg, my family did. Tammy was, I want to say, she was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So she was 5, and I really didn't want to have any more kids. She was 5 going on 6. I wasn't really wanting to have any more kids just yet because I wanted to deploy with my unit and then come back and try to have kids. Right? No, my shithead husband was trying to knock me up the whole fucking time, like deliberately. He was literally like trying to knock me up and be all slick and be like, oh, the condom broke, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, too easy. I'd run to Walgreens and go get the after morning pill. I'm like, plan B, anyone? Yep, this is my plan B. Fuck this shit. I'm not getting knocked up and staying behind because some idiot wants me to be, have this kid again. Call me selfish, but that's just me.
No, and I get that. And I get where your mind frame was.
Yeah, but in general, like it's just how to combat it and like tell a woman like you need to like either make a plan or don't get knocked up during this time frame. It's like it's kind of hard. It's like saying
no,
it's
it's
basically
not.
telling.
It's not hard.
Well, okay,
it's
so
not. You can say
why can't she can't get her socks knocked off, but a guy can? Because he's not going to get pregnant and not be fucking detrimental to the mission.
Because he's not. Again, he's still mission capable. She's not.
I know, and that's what fucking sucks. It's a double-edged sword. It really is.
It's really a simple thing. Are you deployable or not? No.
Okay, but see, like, okay, look, maybe how maybe like how you said, okay, you're going to be unmission capable for X amount of time. I have to pay you for that time. How about I get recuperated for that time and maybe extend your contract for however long you were, out.
I can work with that. See, now we're reaching a happy median. See,
exactly.
we're compromising. So, we're doing what our government doesn't do.
Exactly. So I mean, you can tell these women like, hey, you want to be a mom? Okay, fine. We'll let you be a mom, but we're gonna have to extend your contract for however long, And I wouldn't have no issue with that because I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't have to re-list, just yet. I can still be fat. I still get TRICARE. I still get BAH. So whatever,
But see,
cool.
At the end of the day,
another like 18 months.
At the end of the day, how about I'm even willing to compromise to keeping it to the soft skills MOSs. Y'all go ahead. Do what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, okay, the support MOSs, that's where we run into the issue of when we opened up all the doors, women in combat, et cetera, et cetera. It's just like, okay, how are we going to combat this? How is this going to happen? What's going to happen when this woman, is like our main go-to and she can't deploy because she's
That's exactly what my next point was going to be. Let's say you got a female PL who's been training up with her fucking platoon this whole time, getting ready to go over fucking seas. This is hypothetical, obviously. And but it's something that can happen. She goes out and gets knocked the fuck up. And guess what? Now she can no longer train. They're getting ready to rotate out. And now somebody else has to step in to fucking fill that slot and build that trust that she already had built.
Yeah, already again too. But then what happens, like, say if that same PL, even though she was a female, but she got like an injury. No, if she got injured, how would that go? It's just like, where does it end? It's like a carousel that goes around. I know.
Okay, there's two different things there. Let me tell you why. One is avoidable. The other one is an accident. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hurt
Damn
yourself, you hurt yourself. It was an accident. But if you get fucked and you get pregnant, that was your choice. Don't tell me like, oh, I didn't know I was gonna get pregnant. Bullshit. Penis, pussy, sperm, egg,
I
pregnancy.
didn't know I was gonna
You know,
get pregnant.
there's even a
You know,
fucking
and
cadence about Sally going downtown, and she ends up having a fucking baby 9 months later. So I'm just saying.
around the tree, she wore a yellow ribbon.
Oh, then there's that one. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, I mean, I really feel. I hate that word. I feel. Here's what I think.
I.
All right, and all of this really stemmed from when I was in, and I would see broads
Mhm.
getting fucking pregnant to not go on deployment, and I was like, okay, well that's fucking bullshit.
That
You know
yeah,
what I
that
mean?
strikes a nerve because that struck a nerve with me a lot too because I'm over here busting my ass, and yet here comes, like I told you, that soldier I had at Bragg, man, she literally got knocked up for 4 fucking years that I was there. She never took a PT test. She was always on fucking profile, and they promoted her all the way to fucking specialist from E1 to E4 in
Basura.
4 fucking years. And it's just like, really? And now the bitch got chaptered out on a family care plan because she was going to have her fifth fucking kid. And you know what? She got chaptered out, for family care. And then she was claiming all this stupid shit on VA disability. And she's 100% PNT. Yeah, that shit, like, that pisses me the fuck off about certain women that just abuse the goddamn system.
You know what?
And
Since we're
it's just
talking
like,
about trash fucking soldiers, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and take a look at some.
excuses your soldiers' mates.
Oh God, dude,
Oh my God.
that is a fucking true story. By the way, for those wondering, I started doing these shorts now on YouTube, and it was like,
Fucking reels, man.
the dumbest. What is the dumbest excuse you ever heard somebody give? And we had this one private named Freeman. This is back when I was a private as well. This is back in Fort Hood, Texas, 277 Field Artillery, 4th ID, right off Battalion Road, across the street from the motherfucker. Anyways, Freeman shows up late for PT. All right. And this motherfucker, he was Freeman was your can't get right. All right. He was a can't get right at all. So
left
this
boot, right foot, boot,
bro,
whatever.
yes, he was worse than Pyle. But this motherfucker shows up to PT, and the chief's asking him, Freeman, why the fuck are you late? He's like, I got randomed at the gate, chief. Now, for those that don't know what being randomed is, it means that the MPs or the gate guards have a certain number that they get to, and it just happens to be your random, and they just inspect your vehicle. They kick you out and they inspect it all. So, anyways, which was a good fucking excuse. I will give them that. That's a good fucking excuse. Had the idiot not just moved on post 2 weeks earlier. So this chief looks at him like, motherfucker, you live on post, and he's like, Roger, chief. So yeah, that was the stupidest excuse ever by the dumbest motherfucker ever. This motherfucker came to PT wearing fucking combat boots and PT shorts and shirt. So
Was he gonna do combatives?
Nah, man, we're going on a run. This guy was horrible. But anyways, that's where that came from. But no, I wanted to talk about the trashy soldier since we're talking about this right now. I wanted to bring this up. There's this dude I've been following on the Tickety Talks now. His name is the Deadlift Dad.
Deadlift Dad. Do I have him on TikTok? I don't know.
But this motherfucker,
I be following some crazy people, man.
This motherfucker be having me dying. So we're gonna check some of his shit out right now, and just to get a laugh in. Because one thing I do want to talk to you about, if you do get a
okay,
chance.
yeah, I do follow him.
He's funny as fuck, yo. But one thing I do want to talk about if we get a chance is your time in service as a female, because when you came in, it's still not popular, but I mean, I want to know about the changes that you have seen. But anyways, let's go ahead and hear the deadlift pop-up. So,
all right, let's go. 4 trash soldiers in the military. Let's go.
Fucking clown ass soldiers. They be doing this type of shit, horsing around and shit, till the asset becomes a liability. Fucking trash.
That's what you do in deployment.
Square these motherfuckers away.
Like,
y'all about to write
this
some fucking sworn statements in 15/6s, bitch. Number 3.
Oh, well.
This one's pretty obvious. You fat as fuck, Guess what?
That
You
was me
trash.
after chow.
You fucking pencil
Dude, that's me on deployment after midnight, chow.
Right? Shit.
whipping
You're
those
like,
PT scores and ACFTs. You a fucking bitch. You trash. I hate you. We all fucking hate you. You a liability. Go fucking lose some weight, bitch, or get the fuck out the military. Fulfill your duties. Stop taking taxpayer money, bitch. Peace.
I
Trash.
did.
And that follows along with the pregnant ladies, by the way, for y'all pregnant broads out there.
Shut the fuck up. It takes forever to lose that pregnancy weight. Fuck.
Yeah, all right.
Number 2, Ranger fucking Joe.
Ugh.
This motherfucker gets all this tactical gear and
We
thinks
used to
it's
call
gonna
them
benefit
gear
him.
queers.
Newsflash, you in the
Yep.
conventional force, dog. You don't even
Talk
use
monkey.
half of this shit, let alone you don't even know doctrine. You can't even fill these fucking shoes nor that gear. Return that shit to Ranger Joe's on Fort Benning. Trash. And the number 1 stupidest, most trash soldiers are the one on social media posting dumb shit like this. Think post type shit. Yo, man, you don't want to do this shit? You trash. How the fuck don't you figure that out? I learned that shit like 20, 30 years ago with shit. Fucking trash.
The social
Fix your
media
bitch.
dudes.
Fix your social media. Number 4.
Oh my god, dude.
I had to
It's
see
just
him.
the stereotypes. Oh look, it's Hunt. Hi.
Addy.
Howdy.
So, Hunt, Rissa and I have been having a conversation regarding females, birth control, and pregnancies in the military. You got 6 minutes before I have to shoot out a new link. What you got for us?
Vasectomies, shit to keep men to regulate their body. Let's do it all. Fuck it.
All
If we're
right,
gonna
so let's
fucking try
pause
to
right
do-
there. Let me pause you right there. Why should a man get a vasectomy?
Why should women have to take birth control?
Because now if she gets pregnant, she's not mission capable.
Well, that's the man's fault too. It takes two to tango.
Yeah, but he still deploys. She doesn't. I'll wait.
We're really gonna go here. We're really gonna go here. Like, okay, so then what?
Yeah,
happens-
we went there
what-
already.
Yeah. Yeah, like, god damn it, dude. Like, even if she doesn't, one quote unquote monkey does not stop the fucking circus. Okay, so she's not in the fight. Okay, big deal. Next up.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
it. Next up. They're like, if one person is keeping you from being fully mission capable,
So
that
here's the
fucking
thing, Hunt.
that no
It's
no no
not
no
just
no
that
no no
one
no.
person. It's more than just one person. We're talking about women who get pregnant on purpose to fucking avoid deployments.
But you're making it seem like a lot of these women are scared to go and fight. When we know, I know a lot of dudes that are
I'm
scared.
not. First of all, you're making it a he and she thing. I'm not. I'm saying that women should have birth control so they don't get knocked up during fucking time in service, so that they stay mission capable. That's
Well, they
all
do
I'm
all-
saying. I
they-
have not
they
said
do all-
anything about man being scared or not scared about deploying or not. You're the one bringing that in here.
They do offer birth control to the female soldiers,
I
to the
do,
women
yes.
soldiers. Like, there's nothing. That's if they choose to get on it. But once again, they have something. If I'm not mistaken, now it may be experimental, to where it cuts off a little the semen. And like, I don't know the whole
Well,
process.
y'all can go ahead and get that experimental ass shit. I mean, just like y'all did the COVID.
Well, then
I'm
what's it
good.
called? Just the
So-
vasectomies.
Shut
They
up,
get
man. We
vasectomies.
were
Again.
experimental monkeys for anthrax and for other
Again,
fucking shots.
again,
I mean,
again,
like, where
you-
does it stop
y'all
there?
keep going with this vasectomy shit. The man does not become undeployable or non-deployable because the woman is knocked up. My wife was pregnant 3 times. All 3 times I was deployable while she was pregnant. So do y'all see the problem here?
Yes, the problem. Like,
And
Yeah.
I get it. You want to be a social justice warrior for this. You want to carry that cross to that hill. Go ahead, pimping. But the truth be told, they're non-mission capable. For
Okay,
almost a
we're
year and some
non-mission
change.
capable. We're non-mission capable for that duration. So 9 months pregnancy plus 3 months
Maternity
of return. Well, now it's like fucking 6 months of maternity leave. Don't even get me started on
Well,
that
there you
shit.
go.
They
Hold
got
on.
like
There you
20
go.
they
That's
got
6
22
months on
weeks
top
now.
of the
Look.
9 months, right?
Exactly. Well, that was then. No, that's now. But not back then, because I only
But now
had
it
6
is.
weeks, and then I had to use like almost a month and a half of my own personal leave because
Oh,
I
no, your
was
own
ready-
personal leave because you had a personal
my personal
child
leave because I
with your
wanted to be
personal
because
decision.
I wanted to be a mom and be with my kid. So I
And
was
that
like,
was
okay,
your
fine.
personal decision, though.
Exactly. I was like, I needed more time with my kids. I took my own personal leave. But
Right.
6 weeks on top of the 90 days that I put in, right? Now women in the military have a kid, they're like almost 22 weeks. They don't have to take a PT test until a year after they're fucking having the kid. I had to take a PT test right as soon as I popped the kid out and came back to work. They're like, hey, you ready for APFT, height and weight? Let's go. I'm like, the fuck? So I'm like, during that time frame where you're supposed to be a mom nurturing your kid and stuff like that, you got to worry about being in standard, if you're going to get kicked out, and et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, yeah, it was kind of stressful.
You're a
but,
soldier as well.
It sounds like you're jealous. It sounds like a lot of jealousy over there. Like, well, why can't they deploy? Like the seaman came out of me, I shouldn't deploy either. It sounds like a lot of jealousy. Yes, it does.
No, I mean, it is what it is. We all know that we've seen those females that get knocked up on purpose because they don't want to deploy. You know, there has been at least maybe a handful in each unit. And then there's the ones that do deploy, you know, and make up for the ones that couldn't deploy forward. So I mean, like it's you know, everyone picks up somebody's slack. Yeah, it shouldn't be like that, but it does fucking happen. You know, it's just like how you said, everybody, you know, gets the next person up, next person.
This is something that can be mitigated.
But yeah, but it's just like,
so it's a risk that can be mitigated.
At what point?
How?
At what point do we say, you know, where is it? How do you say it's not constitutional? But like, it's like when you do a civilian job too, they're like, oh, well, you're knocked up and you can't do this job. Take your leave of absence. Here's your fucking final paycheck. Bye. You can't do this job. You know, it's just like, what the fuck?
But see, here's the difference. It's not a civilian job. It's the military, which is meant to kill and fight fucking.
But okay, so with the risk of you saying that, I'm trying to be
of society's fucking experiments.
The military was a petri dish for the greatest fucking thing ever, known as desegregation.
Here we go. See this.
You said
always
it's
brings
the
it back
truth,
to
though.
that shit.
But it's the truth. You just said that that the military is not.
How does this relate to fucking birth control to maintain the force? I'll wait.
So what is your once again? No, it's relevant because you just said so yourself that the military is not a social petri dish experiment. But that's exactly what the military is.
It's
exactly what it.
Yeah, back.
Maybe back in the day,
because of all the, like, you know, with the Hispanics, blacks joining, Asians, whatever, you know, it was predominantly white and black. But even then, like in the early 60s, 50s, you know, there is still segregation.
Are you back on, Rissa? Am I sending you a link?
Yeah,
okay.
Send me a link.
I'm gonna send y'all the new link. Be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
All right, Gunline. We are back for part 2. Just waiting for Rissa and for Hunt to get back on here. Am I wrong, y'all? For what I'm saying, y'all let me know, man. Shoot them in the comments, slap them in the DMs, email me at onthegunline@gmail.com. It's just my opinion. I believe that it's a waste of money. You know, and yeah, you want to be a mother? Go be a mother, man. You know, spend your time with your children. You know, don't try to be something that you can't be. But then again, you know, it's just very, I guess you could say they're just unpopular opinions, and it is what it is at the end of the day. And I love how, like on the gun line, we have different opinions, and we know we'll discuss them, we'll argue, and we'll get passionate about it. But, you know, at the end of the day, shit, you know, we still hang out and chill out. It's just overall good content. And I love the way his locks are looking. I ain't gonna lie. Them locks are looking fucking gorgeous.
Listen, I got the little headband thing now too. Hey, let's
see that. You looking pimping. Oh my God, dude. That shit was funny right now. When Rissa got on, the camera just like zoomed onto her.
Zoomed it.
Yeah, that's just like
I told you, I was like, I hate this iPad Pro.
So, all right. So we are recording. We're live, not live. I wanted to do this live, you know, to get.
I was waiting for it too. I was like, damn, when is he gonna do this?
Well, eventually, when I have 1,000 TikTok followers, I'll be able to do a live on there. You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But huh?
I don't think I do. Let me see. I'm gonna follow you on TikTok.
OTGL_podcast. And then go follow King Virgo 80.
Now that guy right there is an asshole.
King Virgo, what?
82.
That King Virgo guy's a fucking asshole.
So let's go back at it, y'all. We'll talk about it a little bit more, but I do want to, like, okay, we know where each other stand. Let's leave it up to the public now. They can go ahead and give us their opinions.
Yeah.
So Rissa, you joined in 99, you said, right?
Yep, 99.
So 1999 you came in. I didn't come in until 2004.
Old ass.
I'm a young buck, and as a soldier, you were already in there, a full enlistment, when I came in.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, throughout your 20 years that you spent from 99 till retirement, what kind of changes did you see, both positive or negative, for not just the military culture itself, but for females, coming up through the ranks? What kind of adversities do did you come through, and did you see get better in time, if any?
Oh my gosh. So I came in 99. It's in aviation, it's primarily a male dominated MOS. Well, mine was like 50-50 because it's kind of like admin, but not really. I don't know. Go figure. But I predominantly worked, on the flight line with majority of males. Maybe there was a handful of like female pilots, maybe three or five of them, in my career that I've seen growing up. I remember this one badass CW2 in Iraq. I mean, she didn't take shit from nobody. Her name was CW2 Fry. And this was a badass bitch because she will literally go into the talk and cuss your ass out for like a wrong weather sit rep, a wrong mission brief, anything. She would like rip you a new asshole. And she was like a force to be reckoned with, which I fucking love about her.
Wait. Let me ask you something real quick. Just pause.
Go ahead.
How come you didn't say white female on this one? But when it was the white male earlier, you said white male pilot.
Well, she wasn't really white. She was a mix. Okay. But yeah, she was more, okay, let's just go with white woman. All right. Because there really wasn't a lot of like, aviation's predominantly white.
Right.
I mean, there hardly is any Black aviators, Hispanic aviators. When I was growing up through the ranks, I found like, if I found a Hispanic pilot, I was like, holy fuck, you are smart. Because I'm like, I'm dumb as fuck.
You lost.
That motherfucker.
I'm like,
hey, you lost?
I know. I'm like, what the fuck? Who are you? What are you doing here? I'm
so
like,
yeah, I want to cut you off too. What unit you said when you were in Iraq? With what unit?
2501 Aviation. I was with 180. We were out of Hanau. Okay. Yeah, 180.
Okay.
So I was that was when I deployed the second time. The first time I was in the plush position. I'm sorry, I got fucking handpicked from the Pentagon to be a augmentee for Third Army, working Division G3 Air during the war. So we were the ones doing all the flight sorties and stuff like that for Army, Air Force, Marine Corps, Navy, coalition forces, you name it. We were doing clearances, doing the missions rollouts for like the SF guys, Rangers, everything like that. So it's like, fuck my life. I had no life out there. I made the most of it. Yeah, I did. But it was just like intense because I was used to just tracking like one or two helicopters here and there. And next thing you know, I'm like, God damn, they're fucking sending in the fleet. Shit. So, but things that I saw that I liked that were the progressing is that, like, women were getting chances to prove themselves and fulfill leadership roles. You started seeing women in like platoon sergeant roles, more women that were not saying educated, but they were in leadership ranks. So you were seeing like, lieutenants like in charge of S1 shops, right, commanders and stuff like that. Because I think the first company commander female that I've worked with was here at Carson. And let me tell you, she was a fucking skunka bitch from Stockton.
Was she Mexican then?
I fucking hated this bitch. She was a fake fucking Mexican. And the reason why I say this is because she did the whole ROTC thing. She did ROTC, she was a medic, E5. Woo! woo. And then she went to college, got her degree, and then, became an officer. And I'm like, she was EOD. So she considered herself a combat MOS, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bitch, you was support. I'm like, let me just stop.
Right.
But I like that how the military, started opening roles to women. You wouldn't see so many men, in the field. You would see women, and when women work together, it's like you either work together or you piss on each other, and it's just like a rarity to find a good female mesh team that you can work with.
Right.
Because a lot of women will just backstab you. It's just like the male world, but they will literally drag your name in the fucking mud and do the worst when they're supposed to be like lifting each other and blah, blah, girl power shit. Another thing that I saw that I liked while I was in is like the programs that were becoming more aware, like SHARP, sexual harassment, because when I was like coming up, I didn't know there was resources like that. I was tripping because I'm not saying that I'm one that to call like wolf or to call like, don't talk to me like that in that matter, because if you dish it, I'll dish it back. I'll fucking shoot shit with you. And,
that's why we get along so well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean, like, if you're going to suck a dick, does it make you gay? I mean, that kind of shit, it's just like, well,
no, and
that
I mean,
kind of shit. So I mean,
and no, you're 100%. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like those programs weren't around really or acknowledged much when I was coming up until like maybe I want to say in the early 2010s, 2015s is when they started coming up to me. Yeah, because I've never heard of these fucking programs till like I got to brag. I was like, what the fuck is SHARP? What's a SHARP?
Well,
all this shit?
SHARP was relatively new, because I know I had heard of EO when I came in the Army.
I heard of EO.
What year did you come in, Hunt?
02.
02. Okay, so SHARP didn't exist back then. It was EO.
It was something else.
Yeah.
There was another. It wasn't SHARP. It was something else.
It was something. The new verbiage, I forgot the old verbiage, but it was like you really didn't hear about it,
right?
It was known, but not really. It fell under not EO. What's the fucking other shit? IG. It fell under IG. I think it was one of those like secret squirrel jobs nobody wanted, like everybody tried to get, but nobody could get because of all the credentials.
Quick question. So in the aviation, how many females that were there with you in your company or whatever y'all call them?
Like flight, in my company or in my platoon? Because let me see. In Germany, I had me. There was 6 of us, and I was the only NCO in Germany.
There's something going on in the back. No, there's something weird going on in the back.
Back of who?
My back?
Yeah, like there's some shit in the back.
He's talking shit. He's talking shit, right?
I'm like, fuck you.
She over there getting fucking scared.
Superstitious. I'm about to bust my stage out right now and fucking just stage the shit out of my garage.
No, but let me ask you something. Christ
compels you.
Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
Out of the 6 females that were there.
Oh, fuck.
You know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I just want to know how many of them were fucking the males there? Out of all of y'all.
I don't shit where I eat, so I would fuck other dudes in different units. Sorry, I don't do the whole unit mingling. So fuck that. I don't want to deal with that drama. I dealt with it one time when I was a private in Korea. That was the last time. Never again.
But it happened.
but it happened that one time, and that was it. Never did again.
Nope. You're like blaming the women for this shit. Like it's two to fucking tango.
I know it does. I'm not
These women are doing this. These women are doing this.
I'm not saying
that. Doing it too.
No, okay. Guys do it too. They like prey on the young soldiers. Oh shit.
Pray. Are you serious?
Yes, they do. I've seen it.
Yes, they do.
Are you going to tell me that a lot of the females don't be out there looking like, oh, I could get this fine ass private, but I'd rather go for that fine ass E7 instead?
Mm-hmm. No, there are females out there too. Shit.
Because I'm sorry, I was in Korea as well,
and I saw that shit too. I did that shit too. But
I
you know
was trying
what?
to get an
I
officer.
bought it, but I didn't do it.
Like I was trying to bag an officer when I was a private. I was like, where are these female officers at? I'm trying to be a stay-at-home dad.
I know, right?
Nah, but
trying to catch that unicorn. But
yeah.
no, like in my shop, I would say maybe that I knew of. I knew two of the girls, the two lower enlisted, because I flew on the flight with them. So they were straight out of AIT. So I was coming from Washington, D.C. to be stationed in Germany, and we were getting ready to deploy. This girl, Private Kendrick from Tallahassee, Florida.
Damn,
she was your typical
dimes. Go ahead.
Typical Barbie girl. She was 5'8", those blue doughy eyes, blonde, fucking tatas, like perky as shit that would hit her chin when she would run. Damn. I was like, goddamn, and a bubble butt. And I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm like, goddamn, how old are you? 18, blah, blah. I was like, oh, God. So I had to deploy with her. I ended up being her supervisor. But the first 3 weeks we were in Europe, she was already fucking around with the damn warrant officers. You know, she got caught off base with them, you know, so I was like, oh, fuck, here we go with a brand new CW1.
What was she preyed on? Was she preyed upon?
Fuck yeah, she was. Because everybody was like, yo, let me hit that.
Okay,
yo,
but did she?
Who's that girl?
Was
Where's
she preyed upon,
at?
or did she go willingly as well, looking for the nice little rank that came with it?
Both sometimes. Okay, she knew what the fuck she was doing.
Exactly.
Because let me tell you, but men do the same fucking thing too. I don't give a shit.
Because it's natural for men want to fuck women and women wanting to fuck men, right?
But you're literally making it like, oh, they're doing this. They're them. They're the ones doing it.
No, I'm not saying that they're doing it. I'm saying it takes two, because the men are always the ones getting shit on over it. Like, oh, she was preyed upon. She knew what she was doing when she went to that club.
Okay, and that E7 that sees that new private be like, hey, yo, honey, private, you need to ride to your room. Oh, let me check your room out. That shit happens.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying, but
listen, that's that motherfucker's fault. That is that motherfucker's fault. He chose to compromise his integrity. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, like, he was preying on her though.
Yeah, he chose to do that shit. He chose to be like, you know what? Fuck this. I know this is wrong. I know that I'm I'm gonna do this anyway.
I'm gonna get that good before everybody else gets that fucking shit.
Here's the deal. He shouldn't, like she said, he shouldn't have shit where he ate.
Amen.
Like, I got it. If he's gonna do that, do it somewhere else.
Yep.
Now,
I agree.
Go to the BSB. Go to the fucking next division over, but not in your fucking unit, because then everybody fucking knows.
Did Sergeant Hunt, hook up with a specialist that worked at optometry? Possibly. It was way on the other side of post. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
and this is one of them
as long as they don't bring the drama into your freaking section, be like, yo.
Why didn't anybody tell me that fucking Packers are playing tonight?
Oh, the Packers are.
They are losing. Don't worry about it.
Well, they beat the Cowboys, so it don't fucking
matter.
The
Titans of Tennessee, and we're done.
We beat the Cowboys. That's all that matters, though.
And
let's not talk football, though. Oh my God. But yeah. Oh my God. So
in your 20 years, though.
Let me backtrack. So the things that I've hated since I've been out, are all the changes within the regulations of standards.
Right.
The fucking window. It's like, I get it, what they're trying to do. They're trying to reel in the kinder, gentler military and a new breed of soldier, but it doesn't mesh well with me, because we were taught a different type of standard. We were taught.
You're sounding like a vet, sis. You're sounding like a vet,
I'm sorry. Whatever. I don't give a flying fuck.
Okay,
I'll be out there.
Boomer.
I'll be at the PX freaking judging and praying. Hey, motherfucker, let me see how long your hair is. I'm gonna get in that group at the PX, man, with all those freaking war heroes and shit from Nam. Be like, yo, let me get in the circle. What's up, Pop?
So what kind of changes have you seen that the females are getting now compared to like when you were coming up, who pretty much kind of pioneered the way for these new fucking broads that are coming in that are just like,
I know you're gonna hate it, but I like the changes of the postpartum, because it's a bitch, dude. I know you're gonna freaking be like,
No,
here we go again. But no. But honestly, they went in the right direction with this, with giving females a chance to like work on themselves to like mentally and physically, because yeah, having a kid is a fucking bitch, dude. Yeah, we chose to have a kid while in service, but realistically 6 weeks, is not enough time to heal your female body after putting it through all that trauma. Yeah, I know, but who gives a flying fuck? They made good changes, extending the pregnancy leave and stuff like that. Yeah, it sucks that I had 2 kids while in service and I only got shortchanged at the end of the stick, but oh well, I'm like, good for them, at least hopefully they use that time well instead of fucking off, because some women do use that time well, but other women are just like, how do you say, pogues, fat fuckers, all that other shit that they don't like. Oh my God, I just had a baby. Bitch, you had a baby fucking 24 months ago. You can't lose the weight.
24 months. For those that don't know, that's 2 years. All right. That's 2 years. All right. And 1.5 of those years, they were on fucking con leave. All right. So again, that goes to show the waste of money that goes to that. It's a waste.
Extend my fucking contract then, Lopez.
It's a waste of money. It's a waste.
Extend my contract. I guess I didn't serve 20 fucking years.
Oh! Do you want to? I served 20 years, Patch. Just like some people.
Fuck yeah, I do.
Speaking of serving, I ran into somebody that I actually had beef with. Who actually I didn't have beef with the motherfucker. The motherfucker had beef with me. Oh, wow. And the beef was all on Al Gore's internet. Like motherfucker, like wolfing, talking shit. Like yeah, I was like, okay, dude, whatever. Mm-hmm. So I treated myself today, and you know what I did? I went and bought me an early Christmas gift, and I loved it. Word. So I go out to eat, and I see this. Say again?
You got a PlayStation 5?
No, I had that. No, I got I upgraded my charger. I'm now the owner of a RT.
Oh,
yeah. Hey, he was a fuckboy car. But so I see this motherfucker that's talking shit. I don't know if you know who Crow is. Did you ever hear of Crow?
Crow flies high. I've heard of this guy.
That motherfucker.
I had left to Korea already when he came in.
Yes. So this motherfucker, right? I walk in and I see him. I notice him automatically. He's like, look at me, gets on his phone. I'm like, yeah, I want you to talk that shit. I'm gonna slap your teeth straight. The motherfucker didn't talk shit, right? So fuck you. I busted him out that I knew him because he was starting to talk to this other dude, and I started talking to the other guy, and I was like, yeah, I actually know this motherfucker. He's like, oh, you know him? I was like, yeah, I know Crow. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker's like, oh, Hunt is a good dude, man. I never had problems with him, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, now you didn't have problems with me, right? But now you see me face to face. On the internet, you was talking all type of shit, right? I was like, and this motherfucker had the audacity while I'm sitting there to try to get on some stolen valor shit. Like, I was picked up for selection. Bitch, you got an Article 15 because you was trying to steal soldiers. You were on Rear D. And you were going in the barracks trying to steal soldiers' goddamn Xboxes. And then they busted you again. They busted you for that to an E4. And then they caught your ass wearing staff sergeant. He was an E5, busted to an E4. Then they caught your ass to the goddamn class 6 wearing staff sergeant rank. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like,
look, if you're gonna impersonate a different rank, do it like our old motherfucker, one of our old soldiers did, and go hard. Go officer. Go fucking officer.
He's a warrant now.
No, are we talking about the same person?
Yeah, black kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a legit warrant officer now. He's like a CW2.
I need to see that fucking that ERB.
Like bro, like literally him with everybody else that graduated that class. The pictures of him walking across the stage.
Was it Stevens?
Yeah. He was a platoon sergeant, dude. Went airborne. He like turned his shit around, man. He turned his fucking shit around, yo.
This motherfucker, Rissa, got busted at the airport wearing major rank. Major or captain? I can't remember.
I thought it was either captain or lieutenant, but it was like some like dude, come the fuck on, man. And but he turned his shit around.
So some other officer found his ass, told him to pull out his CAC. Sure enough, that CAC had E4 specialist.
Oh my God, Jesus.
Well, that's good, man. It's good to see motherfuckers turn their life around. Oh, we don't want to talk. Well, I'm not going to. I promised I was not going to talk about that anymore.
Okay,
All right. So yeah, let me hit the brakes on that. But
yeah.
let's go back to your
Yeah.
career. Tell me about the NCOs, how they changed from when you were private to when you became an NCO and then lower enlisted again and then an NCO again. Yeah, I put her ass out there like that.
No. So like I remember, okay, basic AIT. We had drill sergeants. AIT back then we had drill sergeants. I remember freaking getting my ass smoked constantly. Everything was a fucking blur, dude. From basic to AIT. All I remembered was yes, drill sergeant, no drill sergeant, and walking everywhere and when trying to figure out when I'm gonna be phased out so I can get some more liberty time and just trying to graduate so I can make it to my unit, right? But I ended up being a holdover for like 4 weeks because my security clearance. They're like, "Hey, she's a Mexican. She's probably not legal, and we don't want to."
Oh,
so I was
God.
like, "Fuck, dude." They're like, I was like, "Fuck." So I was a holdover for 4 fucking weeks, and I was with what is it? Not the reclasses and stuff like that. So I was given like, "Hey, you're not really like in the military. You're not really in your unit, but yet we're giving you this liberty time because you don't get in trouble and shit." So, yeah, when I got to my unit in Korea. Yeah, I was pretty much shell shocked because, like, I'm not really shell shocked. I was treated just like shit, like I didn't matter because I was a private, you know? I was the second female in my section, besides the other specialists that worked in the S2 shop. So I was the only female in my section for S3. Then we had a specialist in the S2, and then we had a staff sergeant that ran the S2 shop. So there was only 3 females in my shop. And I was like, fuck, dude. I was getting my ass reamed by like old farts that served like in
Pause.
shit.
Did you say pause?
I was constantly in trouble. I was constantly in trouble, believe it or not. My first year in the military, I was constantly in trouble. They're like, "Where's Saucedo? Where's Saucedo? Why isn't she doing this? Why isn't she doing that? Oh, we're gonna Article 15 her ass. Oh, you're gonna get extra fucking duty." I literally fucking got to Korea. I was on fucking gate guard for fucking 4 months.
Ooh.
My ass was like,
what camp were you at?
Camp Stanley. Now it's the processing camp, but back then
fucking
it wasn't.
Camp Stanley. Oh my God, I hated that fucking place.
Yeah, I fucking dislocated my knee going up Charlie Rock, one of the hills.
Damn.
And I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I literally rolled down the fucking hill going up the hill. So I was like, oh, look, there goes Saucedo. Someone go tell her to get her ass up and run.
Is Camp Stanley, is that one in Weijambu? Or is that CRC?
Yeah. No, that was close to CRC because I would have to take the bus to CRC to go to the dungeon, the AKA map room, to make overlays. Back then, we had to literally get the fucking film and just draw the fucking overlays. I'd be there all fucking day painting fucking overlays. Nowadays, you just hit a button. Oh, look, how many overlays you need?
So let me ask you, since I got you here on that question.
Oh,
Should Korea wear a combat patch?
Fuck no. Maybe if you were in the bill, maybe a combat patch for each fucking thunder run you did.
So okay, so I got a guy that's coming on here soon. Actually, probably next weekend. Who he served in the 80s out over at the DMZ. And
Camp Page or right at the DMZ?
He said he was at the DMZ. I don't know what camp he was at. I was in Hovey and Casey. I know we're speed bumps, whatever. But I was busy.
Hey, what was that? Tokery.
Hell yeah. I love
the fucking midget show, the midget.
You go to Toke if you want to poke, baby. Yeah, anyways. But
I never was able to go to Korea.
So I think that, I mean, a Korea rotation is the same as a Kuwait rotation. So would we give
it pretty much is. You get your overseas ribbon.
Right.
You don't get a combat patch. It's considered overseas time.
Get a combat patch for Kuwait?
Fuck no. Why should you? You're not in a combat zone. It's neutral.
It's a staging point.
It's a staging point. Are they? Well, people will be like, well, Korea's still at war with North Korea. So yeah, technically it is. Whatever. 38th parallel. That shit's been going on for what? Longer than we were fucking been alive.
50, 60, 70 years?
Since
1952?
70 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm like, if they haven't fucking gone to war yet with us, it's not a combat.
Well, so check this out. I remember one of my soldiers. Well, he wasn't my soldier, but he was a soldier when I was an NCO. Anyways, he was wearing a 2ID combat patch, well, a 2ID patch on his right side from when he was in Korea, because he happened to be there when the North Koreans shot those artillery rounds into that island, and there was like some artillery fire going back and forth, but it wasn't on the mainland. It was like to islands or something. So that was considered.
And what was that island called?
This was just. But here's the thing. That
it's like saying, okay, I was 100 feet away from a fucking mortar attack. I need a cab. Or whatever, however many feet, 500 feet, because my ass got fucking blasted, not even fucking 300 meters and shit, and I didn't get shit. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm still here. Everything's green, everything's all fucking black and white.
Hold on. Hunt's about to say, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Hold my
beer. Yeah.
Hold my Dos Equis. I was in the initial invasion of Iraq, and I don't even have a cab.
Shit. You were third ID?
No, I was 101st.
101st? Oh, okay. You were the ones on top.
We were in Najaf.
You were like Mosul area, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, eventually. Yeah, eventually that's where we did. But like
when I'm trying to remember, because it's like it was like Iraq, Saddam's palace, whatever, and then 101st, third ID, 82nd, 10th Mountain, you know, everybody was all around.
Yeah. but like it's crazy. Like me and Lopez, like I really don't give a fuck about it. But it's like, how can you? Even my award says, you know, I participated in liberation of Najaf, and it's like, fuck it, fuck a cab.
Fuck it, you don't deserve shit. You know what? Why do you want more chest candy? Is pretty much what they're saying.
Yeah.
That was my colonel in Afghanistan. He's just like, if you're not getting shot at directly or like literally at the blast area, you ain't getting a cab. I was like, the fuck?
That sounds about right.
Just candy.
I was just like, whatever. But you know, I know, like, okay, I hate to fucking say it. I mean, I've been in combat zones. I've been lucky enough to like avoid shit to where I'm not getting blown the fuck up. Afghanistan, I hated it because we were in Rocket City. We were literally in a dome. Like, fucking Shank was a shithole.
That's where you at.
I mean, I would literally wake up like, I know. I was like, okay, 2 tits, head, ass. All right, I'm ready to go to work. But you know, like my second deployment when I was in BIOP in 0304, we were getting like close calls all the fucking time. Like I literally every time I've left like a certain area, it would get hit. Like I would be at the calling center at like 2 a.m. on my one day off every like fucking 15 days to make contact with my parents or whatever. And I'd wake up at 2 a.m, call my mom and dad and say, hey, I'm alive, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, go get whatever midnight chow and then go back to bed. But like, I went to the calling center and the next thing you know, I woke up a couple hours later, hey, accountability, the fucking phone center just got hit. And I'm like, which one? They're like, the one by BK. I was like, oh shit, I was just there like a couple hours ago. And then I was on 4th of July, I was supposed to be at the MWR tent with my buddy Gonzo for a ping pong tournament. But my Filipino mortar pool sergeant was like, hey, let's go to the pools and you know, on in the palace. And I was like, fuck it, dude. I'm like, ping pong challenge, pool. I was like, let me go to the pool. And we went to the pools, we hung out, you know, and the next thing you know, we saw the fucking fireworks come in. I was like, is there fireworks? No, they're like, nope, they're shooting that fucking the base. And I was like, oh fuck, we gotta go. And sure as shit, they shot the MWR 10 up. 2 people were KIA, and they had about a handful of wounded in action. And I hate to say it, but one of the people that got hurt, she was one of our mechanics. She was, oh my God, she milked that shit. She got a Purple Heart. And she milked it because she's like, I can't turn a wrench. When we came back from deployment, you know, my war wound, I got hit. I'm like, bitch, whatever. But yeah, I see you at the club over there, like, hey, you know.
Oh shit!
Bottle of Hennessy.
Thank you for bringing that up right now. Not to cut you off, Rissa.
No.
Hunt, I happened to see the video which you were talking about the guy on crutches crossing the street or some shit going to formation.
Yeah.
I don't see what was wrong with it. What was wrong? Like all I heard was music playing in the background and him running with crutches and his gear.
Because like, okay, I understand. I can see. We don't know what his profile says.
Exactly.
Semicolon, however, comma. Still, there has to be some type of leadership that can be like, obviously, you did have a profile. It, you know, the soldiers don't even have to show you your profile. It's been like that forever.
What?
Bull fucking shit. I had to show my profile every time.
No, that was a violation. They violated you without even knowing about it.
I'll be right back, y'all. Y'all keep talking about that malingerer.
So no, yeah. So you're a soldier. You cannot make a soldier show you your profile because that is violating their HIPAA. Yes, we had to do it. Yeah, we had to do that back in the day, but literally, motherfuckers could have got fucked up for that shit. But the video is
because I mean, like, what was the video about?
It's a soldier. So you seen him off the bus, and he had his ruck on, everything, and he has his crutches, and he's like hopping along on these crutches. And it's like, listen, at some point, somebody knew that he had to go get checked out and that he needed crutches. Somebody in that chain of command never should have been like, well, you're gonna carry your ruck, and then had him try to run the formation. I was like, at some point, that's just stupid.
Oh, was this on Facebook a couple of days ago?
Yeah, I seen it on TikTok.
Okay, yeah. I think I seen that one too, where like running in formation, like what profile? I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, is this like real life now?
Yeah. So, I don't know what I missed on here, but I didn't see anything wrong with that video. I mean, I don't know what his profile said. Honestly, if the private doesn't want to show me his profile, then no profile exists.
That's airborne driving on. No,
the profile exists. It exists, and here's the deal. These jokers are getting smart. These privates are getting smart, and they're actually getting into the regulations, and they're reading the regulations,
like as they should,
knowing their fucking rights. Like, there's nothing wrong with knowing your rights.
Not at all.
Now,
no, there isn't, and I'll tell you that.
As a non-commissioned officer,
digging into regulations.
Yeah, as a non-commissioned officer, that's where you need to get in the book, and not just. I'm not saying you, but as a non-commissioned officer, that's why you have to get in them regulations, so you know exactly what you can do when the soldier tries to come at you with what he can do himself. So you're like, okay, so yeah, you can do that, but I can do this. Plain and simple.
Well, yeah, because I mean, like, okay, it's gonna be kind of like racist, I guess you can say, because in the Army command policy, right, you could have addressed people of different backgrounds. Basically, the word nigger was in there, right? That you could loosely say it, address a black person as a nigger. You could have addressed a Hispanic person as, I forgot what they had in there listed.
Probably wetback.
And someone, yeah, probably, I don't even know, but it was listed on there. And then you heard this one white guy say, you know, he said something like, he just said it like off the fly, you know, not derogatory, but it offended somebody. And they're like, you can't say that word in the military. You know, you're going to get written, you know, I'm going to write you up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, not according to the fucking regulation. I'm like, it still states in here, 608-20.
Yeah, 600-20.
So,
and it's
and I learned
Negro,
that in EO.
It's Negro, colored, or Haitian is how you could address.
Yeah, Negro, not nigger, sorry. Yeah. It was Negro.
You just want to throw that hard R in there, didn't you?
Yeah, that hard.
It's been a minute. I don't converse really besides Google.
It's been a minute since you said it's been a minute since you threw that hard R.
Right. You know what? Hey, I just want to say, Rissa, thank you for just getting me canceled on YouTube now. So there goes my YouTube. No, we get it. We get it. Well, I mean,
but yeah, stuff like that. But I mean, now you look at 608-20, it's no longer there. So
dude, apparently
it went away.
Apparently it's racial for me to say, oh, that person's Oriental. When did that become racist?
Dude, it's this. I mean, I'm sorry. It's a lot has to do with this. I'm not gonna say like I've come attention to certain things, and I'm like not semi woke, but I'm like, holy shit. I wish we would have had that back then, you know. And it's just like some of this woke shit is like annoying, but it's like informative. But it's just like, yo, quit taunting this shit, you know, and making it like in my face all the time.
I'm drowsy. That's what I am.
But you know, I learned a lot. You know, when I was an EO, and it was just like, fuck, dude. the shit people have gotten away with when I was in my career, I was like, fuck. I'm like,
Why do they
I had to
always choose the
refrain.
most fuck up ones for EO? If
I
you
was
were
all-
EO, raise your hand.
Yeah,
How was
like
EO?
that shit right. I was like, I picked the wrong one. I don't give a fuck about this shit.
I'm like, are you sure you want me to be an EO? They're like, yeah, we need diversity. And I'm like, the fuck you mean to need diversity?
I got in trouble with my battalion EO rep because I told him to suck my dick, and he fucking wrote me up for sexual harassment. And then the sergeant major.
God.
This is what I loved about the sergeant major, like, because this was back when I was over in Bullock. So the sergeant major addressed all the fucking lieutenants, and he's like, "So if you're getting in an argument, if two male soldiers get in an argument, and one male soldier says, 'Suck my dick,' he's like, do you think that he's gonna pull his dick out and want you to suck it right there?" And everybody's like, "No." He's like, "It's a fucking figure of speech, right?" And he was just fucking going off on him and shit.
Yeah, that's one thing I do miss. I do miss the lively banter in the military, because nowadays you have to pick and choose your group to have conversations like this. Now you can't, it's like, hey, is that dude cool, or is she gonna like snitch on us and we're gonna have to get a violation of SARC, whatever. So it's like, it's a pain in the ass. I hated doing that crap, because like I was really picky about my circle because of how lively I was when I talked to people, because I'm like, no shit. Oh, there you go. Roger that.
Number one, Roger that. I say this shit.
Phrases.
Fucking horrible. Who the fuck is Roger? Roger Rabbit? Roger that? Fuck Roger. I don't acknowledge shit. It's trash. Stop saying that shit.
Guilty.
Number two, asking people if they're tracking. Tracking what? Tracking
Guilty.
device, tracking a
Tracking.
shipment package, tracking a fucking VHS.
All right, so are we all guilty of tracking?
No, you're guilty of tracking.
Tracking? Oh, I'm guilty as fuck.
Yeah, with my kids tracking.
That must
What
be
the
a
fuck is
thing.
Dog, I'm not tracking, and I ain't tracking none of these phrases. Roger, tracking, fuck you. That's how it goes. Stupid. Trash. Number three, how you gonna call something cleaning up and picking up trash like community service workers, but you call it a police call?
All right.
If I'm calling the
Full
police,
disclosure,
emergency service.
I had never heard of a police call until I went to boot camp or to basic training. Until I was over at Delta 122, and they were like, "All right, everybody, police call." I'm thinking like, they're calling the police? I had no idea what the fuck that meant. I'm like, MPs are coming? Yeah, I had no idea, y'all. So anyways,
Oh my God.
we're going to have to leave it at that because my time is about to run out. Everybody, I want to thank you for being here. Rissa, Hunt, thank you all. It's about to die on me. I'm going to leave y'all with one fucking phrase that I still can't get over saying. TT.
Tiny touch.
It's just a TT to the left, a TT to the right. With that said, rounds complete, intermission, gun line out. March order. Thank you, Rissa. Thank you, Hunt. Stop getting knocked up,
Next
women.
time.
Birth control.
Shut up.
Birth control.
No.